We're gonna talk about a lot of handbags today because we are doing my most requested video that y'all have been asking for literally since I started YouTube. And that is to go through my entire luxury designer handbag collection. I am so excited to go through these bags with you all because honestly, I had a lot of fun. I just pulled them all out of my closet. I've just I've put them all down on the ground here in no particular order. I appreciate when YouTubers, group their bags by category, by brand or something like that. But honestly, I find handbag collections more exciting when they're all just kind of randomly dispersed throughout. So that's how I decided to do it. But I had a lot of fun, getting them all out here and kind of just thinking a little bit as I was doing it about what I wanted to say about each one, trying to remember when I bought one or where I bought it. And there are a lot of fun stories with these bags. So I feel like by going through this handbag collection, you all are also gonna get to know quite a fair bit about me. So I'm pretty excited about that. I know you all have been wanting me to do a Q&A, which I haven't gotten to yet. I'm going to do it in the near future. So by the way, if you have any questions for the Q&A, definitely put them down in the comments below and I will be sure to answer them. But I feel like you all are going to learn a lot about me, about my past and all that. I'm doing this and there is some juicy stuff in here. So definitely don't skip over any of the bags, even if you don't think the bag is exciting. There might be something really cool that you learn about me. So definitely stay tuned. I will link any and every single video, whether it's an unboxing, a shopping vlog, review related to these bags, down in the comments below. I can only do up to 5, up above, so I won't be able to link them all. I'll put them all down below. I'm not gonna do mod shots because if I do, this video is going to take me a month to film, edit, and get out to you all. Also, not gonna include prices just because a lot of these I bought years ago, so I don't remember the price, or the price is not what it is today. But if you wanna know specifically about any of these bags and how much I paid for them, also drop that in the comments below and I will be sure to answer that for you. So with all that housekeeping out of the way, let's get into the first bag. First on the list, we have this absolutely gorgeous medium classic flap bag from Chanel. This is in lambskin leather. And I know it looks like a red leather. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it is red, but it is not exactly a true red. I feel like there is a little hint of salmon or pink in it. So that's actually what I like about it, is that it's a little bit different than your regular red, some other red bags that I have in my collection. It's also got these stunning aged gold hardware, which just makes my little Persian heart go pitter patter. I love this bag. And what's interesting is that if you want to know the full story about how I got it, I will link the video down for you below. But long story short, I got it right before one of Chanel's price increases went into effect, and I did get it pre-loved at an amazing deal. And you'll hear the story because I almost bought this exact same bag in store for $1,000 or something like that more. So definitely take a look at that video down below. But what's interesting is that I did not think that I was gonna be a fan of the medium size. I thought that minis and small classic flaps were my domain, my territory. And I've been so pleasantly surprised by how much I love this size bag. I mean, honestly, it's just nice to be able to fit things inside a bag, right? I wear a lot of small bags, a lot of mini bags, which I love. They look good on my body, but there is something to be said for being able to comfortably fit everything you want inside of a handbag. So I will say medium classic flaps are now one of my favorite sizes, and I definitely have some more on my wish list for this year, even though I do not need to be buying any more classic flaps. I know that. But I have been so pleased with this bag. I think it is a really fun way to jazz up any outfit, especially for those of you all who are like me, who wear a lot of neutrals. If you just throw this on and a red lip, you have taken a very plain outfit and just upped it a couple notches, right? I mean, it is a loud bag, it is a statement bag, so just be aware of that. But I love it. I think it has worn so well since I've had it. I really love the lambskin. It's not scratched a ton. So overall, love this bag. So happy to have it in my collection. And I just feel really fortunate that I was able to get it before some of the last 2 price increases that happened. Because honestly, a lot of Chanel bags are now pretty much out of my budget. So very happy to have this one. Next up, we have this big kahuna of a bag. This is this gorgeous executive tote from Prada with the gorgeous turn locks at the top. I'm not sure if you can see, but it's a lot different than like typical Prada tote bags, like the Galleria totes. And so I really like that this one is a little bit different, a little bit more interesting. I also really love this like beautiful, like creamy beige color. I believe like Prada calls it noisette, so I think it's like their version of hazelnut. Now, this is one of the few bags I have of this type of size. I bought this bag and I used it as a work bag, and it worked really well at that period of time in my life because I was driving to work at that point in time. Since then, I've then had some jobs like living in the city where I walk to work. So this wasn't necessarily a very practical work bag anymore because, you know, you'd wear it in the crook of your arm, and you can see it's a pretty big bag, which is one of the reasons it was a great work bag, but it would get really heavy. So I kind of stopped wearing this one for work. But now, like when I go into the office, like once in a blue moon, I now actually drive to work. And so because of that, I can start taking this bag again. And I think it works really well with a lot of my outfits, again, because like I wear a lot of nudes and neutrals and things like that. So love this bag. I think it's got some really great like organization on the inside that works really well for a work bag. You see it's got like two big main compartments there, and then also like the zipper pocket on the inside. So like you can slide like a little tablet in there or something. And then it's also got like a bunch of other side pockets like a lot of other bags have. So love this. I will say this bag has been through some trauma. So when I was working, I think the first job I had when I wore this bag, I took it on a business trip. I remember I was traveling with a group of people and I was with this woman. We all have that coworker, right? Where she is just miserable. Like she's just like a miserable old ninny and she doesn't like you just because you breathe. And there was nothing I could do about it. She just was what she was. And I remember we all got in the back of like this rental car and I sat behind her in the rental car with this bag and I put it down in front of my feet just because like, you know, I wanted to set my bag down. All of a sudden, she just like slammed her chair back. And I don't know why it was so abrupt. Most people generally ask before they like put their chair back in a car. She didn't do that. And then this bag got pulled underneath the seat in front of her and it got scratched like all across the front. And my heart, it absolutely sank. I was so upset. I think this was like probably my most expensive bag that I owned at the time. So like my heart really hurt about it, but like, never let him see you sweat. I was not gonna let her see that I was upset. I didn't even tell anyone that the bag was scratched. I just went through this like internal like, ah, when I was sitting in the car, but I didn't tell anyone. Of course, they didn't really notice that my bag was scratched. They didn't care. I took it to this luxury repair place that was in North Carolina. That was where I lived at the time. And they did an amazing job. You literally cannot tell that anything ever happened to the bag, but it was literally like a bear claw across it. So love this bag. And I was also really surprised they were able to repair it because it's Saffiano leather, and Saffiano leather is a bit more difficult because it's so textured. So very glad that they were able to fix it, and it looks immaculate. It did take a while for them to fix it because they had to get the paint from Prada, which I don't even know if that's true, but sounds like a good bougie story. So love this bag. Now here we have one of my most favorite bags, hands down, in my collection. And this is the Fendi Can You bag. I love this bag because you can wear it either like as like a long shoulder bag, which I love to do. I love that style, but I like it that you can also double up the chain and kind of wear it like this. So like it's nice, a bit of a shorter bag. This bag is kind of like me in it, like in a bag. Like I think it's like sleek and like very like streamlined, which I love, but it does have some visual interest. It's got the smooth black leather. It's got the nice chunky gold chains, which as you know, I love. And then on the inside, it's got this like really nice surprise. It's got like this beautiful, like some brown suede and then also red leather. So I think it's really interesting on the inside too, being like a little bit of a verso bag. So I love this bag. And I remember I wanted this bag ever since it came out. And I used to pass Fendi 4 times a day. I think I've mentioned this on my channel before, but like I used to pass all these luxury shops, both on the way to and from the gym and on the way to and from work. So 4 times a day, I would walk past the Fendi window and I would see this bag. I wanted it. I went, I tried it on. And so it was on my list of like things to get, but I just hadn't gotten it yet. And then there was a Black Friday sale. The same year that this bag, I believe it came out, I was able to get it on Black Friday sale on Gilt. If those of you are familiar with like Gilt Group, they also own like Rue La La. I got this bag for $1,000. I was so excited about it. It was like the deal of a century, which also makes me love this bag even more. But even if I didn't get it on sale, I would still love this bag so much because this is a really great one, I think, to wear out like on dates or to wear out to bars and stuff. Because even though it's a smooth leather, I don't feel like I have to worry about this leather getting scratched easily. So I feel like I can like do a bit more without worrying about the bag, without being so precious with it. So I really like that aspect. And overall, I just love the look and the feel. And I mean, it's got a great size. Like if you look inside, this bag fits a lot on the inside. So I love that. I will say, one thing I don't love about this bag is that I do feel like the hardware has kind of tarnished a little bit, and I noticed it very shortly after I got it, so I felt like maybe this could have been made out of a better material, but you know what? It's Fendi, I love it, it can do no wrong to me, so love this bag. Now here we have my most recent addition to my handbag collection, and that is this absolutely beautiful Celine creasy bag. I hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, someone please correct me in the comments below. In this gorgeous like little eggshell color with the really beautiful gold hardware here. I just think that this is such a classic bag. This bag goes with literally any type of outfit you can think of. It's just like an easy-going bag, but I also feel like it's very chic. Like I feel like this bag really classes up different types of outfits that you add it to. So even if you're just doing like t-shirt, jeans, like running around town, running errands, I think this is a beautiful one. But I've also worn this like really dressed up for date nights, you know, for going out. So I really love this bag. I do worry about scratching it though. I think because it's my only Celine bag, I'm not really sure how the leather fares over time. And so I think I'm just being extra careful to not find out, right? Like I don't want to know how it takes scratches. So that kind of stresses me out a little bit. Also with it being a lighter color, like I do have to be hyper aware about if color transfer is happening. It's funny, I do wear it a ton and I've not been looking as much on the back. I should be looking on the back to make sure at the second I see, you know, any color transfer, I should make sure to put some leather conditioner on it. I've got an amazing leather conditioner. You all have heard about it on my channel till I'm blue in the face. It literally gets out any single stain that I've ever had on a handbag. It also like moisturizes your leather so it doesn't get dry, so it doesn't crack. And also it prevents things from happening to the bag. So I love that stuff. I use it religiously. We'll link it below for you. But I think that this is a really great, classy, chic little bag. I feel very fancy when I wear it. So very happy to have this in my collection. Next up is a bag that I recently showed you all in a community post, and it is like what I like to call my vacation bag. I feel like a lot of us have like straw and raffia bags that, like, let's be honest, we don't really wear a ton in like everyday life, but like when you're going somewhere warm and tropical on vacation, like that bag comes out. This is the one for me. This is a really cute little Saint Laurent raffia clutch that I got, I got it back in 2019 after the holidays. I remember I went on a shopping trip with my dad, and I remember I found this at Saks on sale and I was so happy about it. And I love it because it's just like an easy little like carry along type of bag. You know, there's nothing like so crazy about it that you would need to worry about it not matching with stuff. So it's another reason I think it's a really good vacation bag, is that it's pretty neutral, so it goes with a lot of different things. You can see here that it does have, you know, a little loop right here where you could attach a little wristlet. And unfortunately, I lost the wristlet piece for this literally the first time I wore it. So I took this on vacation with me. I went down to LA, I went to Venice Beach for a few days, which was really nice. This was right before the pandemic hit. It was in January of 2020. So got it in just in the nick of time. And I don't know what happened, but I remember I came home, could not find the little wristlet to go with it. I've asked Saint Laurent if I'm able like to purchase just the wristlet piece, and they said no. So I'm really sad about it. I'm gonna look on like some pre-loved sites, I think, look like on Poshmark or something, and see if anyone's got one of these for sale from Saint Laurent. I know I could buy one from another brand, but I don't know. That just like feels a little weird to attach like a different brand to it. So I don't know. If any of you all have an extra smooth black leather wristlet strap from Saint Laurent, let me know, because I will buy it from you for this bag. So that's this one. Love it. Cute little vacation flex bag. Here we have what I feel like is one of my most luxurious bags. And this is my vintage Chanel CC camera bag in this absolutely stunning forest green suede color. This bag is old. Like, she's an old little lady. She is around my age. She is a 1 series bag. So that means that she came out anywhere from 89 to like 90, 91, I believe. So it's really interesting that she is close in age to me. I won't reveal if it's like older or younger, but she's around my age. And this was actually my first Chanel bag. For those of you that watched my Chanel collection video, which again, I'll link down below for you, you know that this was my first bag. I was never even intending to buy this bag. I just walked in and got it from this amazing consignment store here in San Francisco called Chris Consignment. They have beautiful, beautiful pieces. Like, their ready to wear is stunning. They have like a ton of old Celine stuff. Like, they have some really great pieces. And I remember I walked in, I didn't find anything. I was about to walk out when I saw this, and I had to have it. Like, I love this bag. And it came with the authenticity card. I think with it being my first Chanel bag, I wouldn't have felt comfortable buying it without the authenticity card. So I'm really glad that it came with it. And it just blows my mind. Like, this is a 1 series bag. Like, look how old she is. But I also love this bag because by virtue of it being older, a lot of you Chanel fans know that this hardware here is actually 24 karat gold plated. So it is extra fancy, extra luxe. I just love when I wear it. I don't wear this bag a ton. I think because I think of this as like a work of art, like a piece of history. I'm really nervous, especially with it being suede, which is interesting because in SF, like, it really doesn't rain that much. So I don't really have to worry about getting caught in a rainstorm. But for some reason, I'm very protective over this bag. And it's something that I really want to make sure I keep in good shape forever. I was really shocked by like the condition when I got it. I mean, look at it. She's absolutely beautiful. So this is a gorgeous bag. And I also love it because it's very different than anything else I have in my collection. So very happy that I was able to score this, like, totally without even intending to, without even trying. So love this one. Now here we actually have another camera bag, but I think we can all agree this one is completely different from the last one. And this is my Gucci, I need to double check. I should have like Googled it right before I did this video. It's either the Trapunata or Trapuntata camera bag. This was actually a pandemic purchase. I bought this during the pandemic. I actually got it from the Gucci outlet. I like that it's very like classic Gucci. I know it's got like the Marmont logo, and I feel like the Marmont logo really is like quite a dividing factor amongst people. Some people love it, some people hate it. I quite like it. I think it is a beautiful logo. I do think obviously like it's quite saturated in the world in terms of like number of people that have like the Gucci Marmont bag. So I always wanted a piece of it, but I wanted it in a way that I felt like didn't look like everyone else's. And so I like that it's here in this way, in this bag, you know, with like the signature Gucci green and red stripe here, because this feels more me. This feels like more genuine to like who I am as a handbag lover. But I love this bag because this is like a very casual bag. It's a very easygoing bag. It's got some really great like quilted detail here. It does sometimes get a little bit of color transfer, but I just use that leather conditioner that I mentioned, which again, we'll link below, and it always comes right out. So I'm not too worried about it. This is a bag that I'll wear like when it's raining and stuff, and I don't want like my other bags to get messed up. I will wear this one. But I really love just like the beautiful white color. I love that it's got gold hardware. And I think that the braided strap is really fun here. Now I've actually done something to make the strap a little bit shorter, because those of you all who are seasoned subscribers of this channel, those of you that are in the family know that like I'm a bit shorter, so a lot of times straps are too long for me. I've actually done something where I like tied it across the inside of the bag to make it a little bit shorter. So that's my little like MacGyver trick to make this bag work for me. Another thing that I really like about this bag is that it's actually got a cute little clip on the inside, which I think is really helpful when you've got keys and you've got a small bag. Sometimes it might be hard to find them if they fall to the bottom and you're just kind of like shoving your hand in there trying to get your keys. So I like that it's got this little like key loop here. And also I really love the interior of it. I love this like beautiful floral motif print fabric. And I feel like that's one of the things that makes luxury so special, are like those little details that I understand like no one else is ever gonna see the floral inner material of my bag. But I see it and I really like it. And it like lights my face up when I see it, because I don't know, I just think it's a really pretty floral print. So I really like that about this bag. Overall, great bag, super easy to wear, very durable, and I love that it's easy to clean, because especially with it being white, it needs to be easy to clean. Now here we have a bag that you all have seen on this channel time and time again. This is one of my favorite bags. I feel like I've already said that, but like, it is also one of my favorites. This is my small Chanel classic flap in caviar leather, and it has aged gold hardware. And I just adore this bag. A, because it is a classic flap and I love that shape and size, but B, really because of the color. I mean, this is a stunning color, and it's funny because I feel like blue like is not for everyone, right? It's not everyone's cup of tea. It definitely is my cup of tea because this like shade of like calming blue I think works really well with like my palette, like my color palette of clothes that I wear. But it's funny because even though it's not everyone's shade of blue, I feel like a lot of people appreciate this color blue because I get so many compliments when I wear this bag. And I've got like, at this point, a fair amount of other Chanel classic flaps, which I feel very fortunate to have. And this one I feel like gets complimented the most. I think people love this color just as much as I do, so I love this one. Also, this was my first Chanel classic flap that I purchased in the beginning of 2021. I actually bought this on a Super Bowl Sunday, which I think also like tells you where my priorities are in life. It's a good time to go shopping because like everyone else is gonna be gone, right? And go get yourself a Chanel bag. I remember I was not like dead set on getting a bag that day, but I walked in and I saw it and they never have classic flaps and I just fell in love with the color. And I remember back then thinking, whew, this bag is so expensive. I had to like go and think about it. I like went and like took a walk around before I bought it. And now it's funny because I'm like, this bag was a bargain because when I bought this one, it was $6,400. And I believe right now as of today, this bag would cost you $8,200. So yeah, relatively speaking, I got it for a bargain. Now, next up we have a bag that is very special to me, and I will explain why. And I was a little worried, like, oh, I'm already getting a little choked up. I was a little worried sharing this story with you all because it's something very personal, but it is something that's like really important and really meaningful. And I think if I'm going to talk to you about my bag collection and like the bags that mean a lot to me, that this is something that I would share with you all. So, or something that I should share with you all so that you all learn about me. So, it is my Louis Vuitton Speedy bag. Now you're probably like, oh my God, Lily, like such a basic bag. And I hate when people say that, but like, you're probably like, oh Lily, like why do you care so much about this bag? Well, I received this bag as a birthday gift from my dad and my older sister when I was 21. And it was really special because this was a bag that I wanted for years. Ever since like I knew what handbags were, this was one that I wanted. I also feel like that's probably a function of the fact that like this was like one of the bags I would see a lot, so I got it in my head more so than like rarer bags. But this was a bag that I always wanted. My dad told me he had even bought my mom this bag, like, you know, years ago, and it was funny because it got stolen from her, so it was funny that like I wanted the same bag. But this is so special because about a month after my birthday, I actually lost my sister. Sorry. But hey, we're here to be real, right? My sister struggled with a lot of different mental illness, a lot that went untreated for a long time. And I think that when those things go untreated, they kind of snowball, they become unbearable, and at some point you feel like there's no way out. So I lost my sister to suicide. And so I wanted to share that with you all, A, because it's something really important to me. And a lot of times people will ask like if you have siblings or not. And sometimes I feel like explaining the story, sometimes I don't. But I was raised with a sister. My sister is 2 years older than me. She was, you know, one of the best people I've ever met. She was so creative, so smart, just like an endless genius in every which way I was. And I have to try really hard to be good at things, and she would just like show up and be good at things. So we were very different and in a lot of different ways. But I'm sharing all of that because I figured let's turn a really sad event into a positive. So ever since that happened, I was always trying to figure out like what was the reason why. You know, I don't think that that was something that made the world any better. And I always believe things happen for a reason, but I like cannot find the good in like losing my sister. And so a few years afterwards, I actually started doing fundraising for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And so every year I will participate in the fundraising event that they do in my city, and I will often tell a story or share photos or talk about a different piece of my sister in an effort to bring awareness to, you know, just like the world of suicide and how it often comes to be and what we can do to help prevent that. And so If this story touched you at all in any way, shape, or form, or if you have struggled with mental illness or anything like that, I'm going to leave a link down in the description box below where you can donate to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. They do amazing work. They do a lot in terms of like research, fundraising, advocacy, helping not just people who are struggling, but also helping the families of those who have been affected by mental illness and suicide. And so I think they are a great organization to support. I believe I've been fundraising for them for close to, I think it's like, this is my 9th year doing it. So it is something that means a lot to me. So I know that was a lot, but that is a very long way of saying this is the most important bag in my collection. If my house were on fire, this is what I would grab. This is the only thing that actually means anything to me in terms of handbags. And I love this bag. And it was really sweet because my dad and my sister got this for me my 21st birthday, which was like, oh, like so exciting, you know, all that. But also I then got to take this bag with me when I went to New York City for the summer to intern for Diane von Furstenberg. So I have a lot of great memories with this bag, like a lot of firsts, a lot of really exciting, fun stuff. I'm surprised I didn't lose it like at some point, because honestly, like back then when I was a kid, like going out, running around town, I should not have been carrying an expensive bag. But anyways, I love this bag. Thank you for listening. Sorry I got like all like remotional about it. If you watch The Real Housewives, you know I'm talking about, like remotional. But I love this bag. So yeah, that's that one. Whew. Okay, now on to the next bag. This is my mini Fendi baguette that I absolutely love. Look at this beautiful like cherry red color. I mean, she is just such a little stunner. Look at her, gorgeous little bag. In addition to having like the cute little like short top handle here, there is also a long chain that you can wear with the bag too. I've got a full review on this bag, so I will link that for you down below. But I just love this bag, A, because it's versatile. Like you can take the long strap off if you want and just wear it top handle, or you can wear it bow. And also like the Fendi baguette is just having such a moment right now. I love that it has come back so hard. I think for a lot of you all that are probably around my age, we grew up like watching this bag like being worn like in the Y2K era, but also like very specifically like on Sex and the City with like Carrie Bradshaw. I mean, this bag just has so many feels inside of it for a lot of us. So I was able to snag this. I remember I bought it pre-loved. It's 2019. And I also got really lucky in terms of the price. I had been like holding out for the right one at the right price, and I got this for $1,000, which, considering the fact that this is a leather baguette and it's got both the short and the long straps, that's amazing, because this bag is like well over $2,000 if you buy from Fendi. I think it's close to $3,000 actually. So love it. I love the size of it. I really would love also like a larger baguette, one with like a bit more of a shoulder strap. So that's something that I've been looking for too, but I'm not like in a hurry, right? So maybe one day if I find, again, the right one at the right price, I will get it. But very happy to at least have this one. And this definitely fills like my little need to have a piece of history with like such an iconic bag. Now here we have this gorgeous, gorgeous little like blush beige nude little bag from Valentino. Now this is from, I believe it's called their V-ring collection. And I bought this bag actually on the same day that I bought the Saint Laurent raffia clutch with my dad. Remember, we went shopping and we found both of these on sale at Saks. So I was like, I have to get both, obviously. And it was funny because like the two of them together was like the price, less than the price of like one of these normally. So like, got them for both very good deals. This is a bag that I love, but I've also been, or I was considering selling. I think after doing the video about which bags I was considering selling, I really thought about it, and I decided this is a bag that I want to keep. I really like this bag. I know that obviously it is like a little bit aged because you can tell very specifically what collection this is from with like the little red leather tabs here, but I still love the style of it. And what I like about this bag is that this one you can pair with like any type of outfit, but if you just do like a red lip, I feel like it's like a really fun moment between like the red here and the red on your lips. So I love this bag. I also really like the organizational features on the inside. Like it's got a lot of different compartments. So I feel like it's actually just a very intelligently designed bag. Like you can see there's like a compartment here, there are card slots there. You know, like it's just, it's got a lot in there. And also I really like the chain on this bag. I feel like this chain is really pretty. Like, look at that. It's a really gorgeous bag. So I just love this bag. I feel like it's very elegant, right? It's really good for evening time. I don't really wear this during the day. It feels like a bit much for daytime, but hey, I have been known to wear louder bags during the day, so don't put it past me. Now here we have, seriously, the cutest little Bottega mini cassette bag that was ever to exist on the planet. I've done a full review on this and I will link both that and the unboxing for you. But this is just such a cute little nugget bag. Like, I feel like you can't help but smile when you look at this because she's just a baby. And I think I've said this before, but I get so many compliments when I wear this bag. People love this bag. I feel like because it's unexpected and it's not as mainstream as the other, you know, both the regular cassette bag and the padded cassette bags. So I love this. Also, you all have seen, I love green. I love dark green specifically. So this color really makes me happy. And I also really like that the strap is adjustable here. So overall, love this bag. She's not practical. She does not fit a cell phone. I say that in my review, but let me repeat. This bag does not fit your cell phone unless you have like a flip phone, you know? So unfortunately, that part, not so practical, but very happy that I have this in my collection. Now, here we have this gorgeous little Chanel square mini classic flap in this beautiful bright color. I can't remember the collection that this is from, but I bought this one, as many of you all know, last year in the summer around the same time that I got the red one because I got a little crazy, you know, before all the price increases happened. But crazy in the sense that I bought a lot of expensive bags that I wouldn't normally buy so close together, but not crazy in the sense that I knew the prices were going up. I knew that I wasn't really going to be willing to keep on continuing to pay like these crazy high prices. So I wanted to lock in and like get a few bags at the price, you know, that I felt comfortable with, even though those prices were still incredibly like extortionate. I got this one on Fashion File and I remember I got a discount. So I actually was really happy with the price that I paid. And this is just such a fun little bag. I also love this shade of pink. Like, I feel like to me, this is like one of like the perfect Barbie pink shades out there. Sometimes I feel like a lot of bright pinks look a little bit too orangey or like a little too salmony, but this feels like bright, true Barbie pink. So it pulls on like all my little like nostalgic heartstrings of like Barbie from when I was a kid. And I also love how Barbie has evolved now in a lot of different ways, which is great, which I think is really good for like women and stuff going forward. But love this bag. I also like that it has silver hardware because as you all have seen, I have a lot of bags with gold hardware, but I do wear both silver and gold jewelry. So I think it's really good for me to actually have, you know, something in silver. So that way, if I ever want to do like an all silver look, I've got a couple bags that do, you know, help me do that. So I love this bag. I think it's a great shape. I also really like the strap drop length. I think it works really well. Sometimes I use a chain shortener, sometimes I don't, but overall, this is a great bag. Love it so much. And I also love that it's a little bit older because I do feel like the bags that are a little bit older are better quality. So this is a great one. I feel very fortunate to have snagged this before the prices went up. Next up, we have this beautiful little like ray of sunshine. I mean, how can you look at this and think of anything else other than like bright, happy sunshine? I don't know. But this is this gorgeous little Prada shoulder bag in this like sunshiny yellow and Saffiano leather, and it has gold hardware. Now, I think you all can tell that I have worn this bag a lot. You can see here, there's like a little bit of like rippling and warping here. You can even notice like a little bit on the button here that there's like a little bit of wear and tear there. And you can also see it a little bit on the hardware, like some of it looks a bit aged. So like this bag is not in pristine condition anymore, but I've had this bag for a long time. I wanna say I've had it since like 2015, 2016. So I've had it for such a long time. And I really like this bag because I think it's a really like fun, simple, and easy way to add a pop of color to my like ever neutral outfits. Also, I wear this bag to bars a lot because since it was Saffiano, I felt like it was resilient. And also like in the grand scheme of all my bags, like luxury bags, this was a cheaper one. So like I've kind of like used this as my tribute. Like I don't mind if this one gets messed up. I have this one and another one that like you'll be able to like really see the wear on them. They're the two I wear for different occasions if like I know my bag's gonna get messed up. I'll also actually take this one on vacation a lot with me because just like my raffia one, I feel like this one works really well on vacation. And a lot of times like if you're going somewhere where it's sandy or you're going by the pool or whatever, I don't mind if this one like gets like some of the elements on it. It's fine if it kind of just, you know, gets a little mucked up. Like that's not a big deal to me. So I like the bag a lot. I also really like that it's got this cute little pocket here. I think on the inside, you know, it's got some like good compartments there. It's got a zipper pocket and also an open pocket. So it's just got lots of pockets in general. And like, as we know, women love pockets. So what's not to love about this bag? Here we have one of my newer bags to my collection. I added this, I believe, in October of 2021. And this is my Celine Kate tassel bag. Now, I've recently done a full review video on this bag, so I will link it for you. But overall, you will see in that video that basically, I love this bag in terms of like aesthetic. Like I think it really chics up a lot of different outfits. But there are a couple quirky things about it that sometimes make it like a little bit annoying and a little bit frustrating. So if you're considering buying this bag, I would definitely recommend watching my review video because I get very honest about the things that I find a little annoying about this bag. But I mean, at that same token, I mean, it's just so chic. Even like with the beautiful chain strap here that it has, I mean, I just think it looks so nice, right? I bought this actually at the Saint Laurent outlet, so I got it for a much better price than what it normally costs, which is another thing that I love about it. But overall, love this bag, beautiful. Like it is more of like a night bag, but you can definitely wear it during the day. I think if you do it with like very plain like t-shirt and jeans. So this is a fun one. Very happy to have this bag. Even with all of its annoyances, I do still think it's worth it, but that's because I really like how it looks. Now, what bag collection is complete without something from the Valentino rockstud collection? Now, I know that a lot of people are saying, and it's true, that like a lot of rockstud stuff is looking a bit dated now just because it's been such a specific look and it's been around for so long. But I have to be honest, I feel like in the more simplistic ways where rockstuds are used, they actually still feel quite timeless to me. Now, maybe I'm just like partial and maybe I'm like totally off here, but I feel like the ones that like the bags that are really over designed where you've got rock studs like 87 different ways, for some reason, yeah, I feel like those do look a little bit more aged, but this bag I feel like is such a classic and it is something that I will never get rid of because I absolutely love it. I mean, first off, it's got this beautiful dusty blue color, right? Which is just, I mean, it's so beautiful. It's such like a nice little like powdery blue, which I love. But also, I mean, I just love this bag because I feel like it's interesting. It's different. Like it's got studs on it. So I can wear it with like a typical going out outfit and it just instantly like changes the overall vibe of it, makes it a little bit more edgy, makes it feel a little bit different. So I'm just a big fan of this bag. I'm never getting rid of it. I really like it. I also really like, oh, there's stuff inside there. I won't show you that, but I really like the chain because it's a very thin, dainty chain. But with that being said, even though the chain is so thin and so dainty, it's not delicate. I have this one like contemporary bag that's got a very thin chain, and that one, it feels like the chain could snap at any moment, but this one I feel like it's very good quality. And you know what? It better be because it is Valentino. This was not cheap. Also, another fun thing to know about this bag is that I affectionately call this one of my 2 breakup bags. So there's another bag which I'll show you later on, but I bought both of these bags right after I ended up breaking off my engagement. I was in a relationship with someone for a few years and we had a bit of a longer engagement because it was during the time in my career where I was working abroad. I had some different working assignments in Australia and Germany. We had a great, beautiful, amazing relationship, but unfortunately he did something, I'm sure y'all could guess, that is something that would cause a lot of people to fall out of love, which was very sad. You know, I would never wish that type of situation on anyone. But if I'm being totally honest, I'm actually happy that it happened because I feel like who I have become since then, like the things I've been forced to learn about myself, the things I've been forced to confront, has just really made me fall in love with myself, if that makes sense. Like, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of flaws and a lot of things about myself like that I wish I could change. But overall, I just feel like who I have grown into and who I have become, that wouldn't have happened if I had stayed in that relationship. Also, I wouldn't have been prompted to buy this bag because I decided to like treat myself after I left my ex-fiance. So this is one of the 2. There's another one. Also, in addition to the 2 breakup bags, I also bought a breakup blender So I still use that Vitamix to this day. I love it. So thank you. You know who you are for our relationship not working out, because I got some great bags and a blender out of it that I still use to this day. So that is that one. Now here we have, which you all have seen, is what I think to be one of my best purchases from 2021. This is my Chanel mini classic flap bag, even though minis are not technically classic flaps, in this beautiful blush beige color. I believe this is from like the 21A or 21K collection. I can't remember now. There's too many like facts and figures to keep up with. But it's this beautiful little mini rectangular classic flap, which I just think is such a beautiful color. I think it's such a unique beige because it's kind of blushy, it's kind of beigey, it's got some hints of like cocoa and caramel in it. And it's also got the champagne gold hardware. And so I feel like this works really well with matching with a lot of my different outfits. I mean, I was wearing this bag on repeat when I got it. Now I will say something that I have not loved about this bag, and I only recently started to notice it, so I'm not sure if it was always there and I just missed it, or like now if it recently happened and I've paid attention to it, but I feel as though the leather, like the color on the leather, I'm not sure if it's like paint or dyed or what, is coming off. And I feel like I have been very protective over this bag. And so I'm surprised that the paint is coming off, because I just feel like that shouldn't happen yet. It's not happened to any of my other Chanel bags. And you know, this is a 2021 bag. It was I believe one of the first ones that they started doing without the authenticity card. So it's got, you know, the little like microchip here instead of the authenticity card. But you know, once I started seeing the paint come off, I actually got really concerned. And even though you should get all of your pre-loved bags authenticated, I hadn't done it right away, even though like it came from Fashion File, like I trust them, I know that they are experts. I decided to do another round of authentication with, I believe it's called like Real Authentication, which I will link for you down below if you want to use them. They do a great job, great turnaround time. I did another authentication with them just to make sure. I was like, I mean, it's not fake, is it? And it's not, you know, it came back totally authentic, all that. But here, I'll show you, like, look at this paint coming off right here. Does that feel normal to you? For those of you that have like lambskin Chanel bags, like, do you see that happening a lot? Or is this really like a bit of a quality issue, you know, with Chanel? I've also noticed it a little bit like on the chain, like you can see here, like the strap on the chain, you can see some little like bare bits there. So I will say, I have also been looking at pre-loved sites where if I can find an older version in a similar shade of beige, I actually wouldn't be opposed to buying that one and then selling this one, simply because I do think that the older ones are better quality. It's such a shame, but I mean, I'd need it to like fill the same void. Like it would need to be a beige mini rectangular flat bag from Chanel, you know? I would even go caviar. Like I would pay a bit of a premium for caviar too. Granted, caviar bags are now like so expensive, so I don't know, we'll see. So even though I do love this bag, and even though I do think it's one of my best purchases, I mean, I've started to see some quality issues with it that I'm kind of like not loving, and I think it is going to affect like how I decide to shop with Chanel going forward, because I'm not sure if all future collections have the same type of quality issues or not. But these things are too expensive to be having issues like that, right? But I do still love the bag, so she's staying for now. Now here we actually have my very first Prada bag, and I bought this when I was working abroad in Germany. They had like a Prada outlet. Well, they had like a set of designer outlets, and there was Prada there. And so I remember this was the first bag that I ever bought from Prada. And honestly, I just am still to this day in love with this bag. I will say, I hate that I don't wear it as much because it's a bit of like an in-between size for me right now. Like, I either go like big or small. I don't really go in between, but I also think that as I get a little bit older, that will change. Like if I ever have a family and things like that, I think that will change. So I am never getting rid of this bag. I love it so much. I love Prada pebbled leather. It's one of my favorite leathers. If I'm being totally honest, I really prefer pebbled Prada leather versus their Saffiano. I think their Saffiano doesn't like weather as well over time. Not that it looks cheaper, but it's just not as luxe, right, as the pebbled leather. So I love this bag so much. The cool thing about buying it when I was in Germany was that then this bag actually got to travel with me to so many different places. Like I took this bag to France. Obviously it was in Germany. I took it to Spain. It went to Switzerland. It went to Austria. I believe it also went to Italy with me. So like this bag, like she is a cultured girl. Like she has been around. And I also really like this bag because it comes with a long strap, and a lot of, not Chanel, wow. A lot of Prada's bigger bags sometimes don't have that longer strap because obviously it's like not good design, because if a bag's too heavy for the strap, it'll snap, right? So I like that this one's small enough that it can still have a strap, and it's got, you know, a trillion different compartments. So this was actually a really great travel companion bag because I could like separate all my stuff and zip away a lot of things. I think zippers are really helpful when you're traveling because you don't want something to fall out of your bag specifically when you are traveling. I mean, you don't ever want stuff to fall out of your bag, right? But specifically when you are traveling, like if your passport falls out of your bag, you're kind of like up a creek without a paddle. So I like this bag. And also, again, it tugs on my heartstrings because it's like this beautiful dark green, but I like that this is a bit of a different green than other ones that I have in my collection. It's more of like an olive green, so it feels quite nice. And I feel like that pairs really well with the gold hardware. So beautiful bag, very cultured, well-traveled bag. Now, here we have the most adorable little Dionysus bag that you ever have seen from Gucci. It is their super mini Dionysus bag in this really beautiful little just like black pebbled leather that they have here, and it's got the gorgeous like bejeweled, like jewel encrusted little double tiger head here. I think that this bag is absolutely beautiful, and I wear it in like any occasion where I get the chance. I will say now, with me having an iPhone 12 Pro, I don't have the Max, it basically fills up the entire bag. So if I'm gonna wear this bag, I have to be wearing pants, so that way I have a pocket to like kind of slide it in my back pocket, and then I can actually put other stuff in here. Otherwise, if I put the phone in here, it takes up the entire bag, which is very sad. But this bag was actually a gift from my dad to me. I actually think it may have been for my 30th birthday. So now you all know I'm at least 30. But I really like that the chain, and I specifically really love the chain because it's like this beautiful gunmetal color here. I mean, look at that, it's absolutely beautiful. But I really like that the chain is detachable, so that way if you just want to take it as a clutch, or if you just want to throw it inside a bigger bag, I mean, this would be a very elaborate wallet to have, but you could also just throw this as a pouch inside one of your other bags. You can do that, and you can take the chain off. But of course, with smaller bags, like every little bit helps. So sometimes tucking it in might not be a viable option because you wouldn't be able to fit anything else inside of this bag. So I do really like this bag. I also think it's important to note, if you've been considering getting this bag, that the leather is such good quality. I am looking now at it closely and I do not see any scratches. Granted, because it's pebbled, like maybe I just can't see them. But overall, I mean, I think that this leather has worn so well. And also, I mean, I just love this bag because I feel like it's a really fun going out bag. Oops. And I also like things that are like quirky. Like I like when there's like a little piece of like an animal on stuff. I've got like some funny little like animal like caricatures and like figurines around my house and stuff. So I like when stuff is like a little quirky, and so I feel like this bag is like elegant, but if you look closely, she's a little quirky with freaking tigers on. So beautiful, beautiful bag. Love that I have this. Now, here we actually have the second breakup bag, you know, similar. I bought this right around the same time that I bought the dusty blue Valentino rockstud bag. I got this gorgeous Saint Laurent envelope bag, which, oh my God, this bag had me so excited when I first bought it. So I love that it is a true red. It's not a cherry red. It's not like a fire engine red. This is like straight up the color of red, like when you learn about red when you're in school. I just think it's such a beautiful bag. I also love that this bag has so many organizational features. Clearly, like, oh, it also has a candy cane. I am such a big fan of organizational features in my bag, and gold, as you can see. But look at this bag. So you can see all of these card slots here. Then there's a zip inner compartment, and then you've got a whole another set of card slots here. So with this bag, there is absolutely zero need to take a card holder, because unless you need to take more than 20 cards out with you, like at any given point in time, this bag has you covered. Also, I really do like that the chain is detachable on this bag, kind of like with the Gucci one. If you just like undo these bits, you can actually pull the chain out of these loops and completely remove it, which I think is really important, again, for like smaller bags, especially like going out bags. When you've only got like limited real estate and you can only fit so much in here, then you don't want to like take that space up by like pulling the chain on the inside too. So I really like that. One thing that makes me very sad about this bag, but I think is also a testament to how much I have worn this bag, is that I feel like here at the little tip of the envelope, a little bit of the paint is starting to come off. So I may either send it to like that luxury bag repair place in North Carolina to get it fixed, because I know they do an incredible job, or I might also call Saint Laurent and see if they do it. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, it looks like there's a little bit missing here on the corner too. So I don't know if that's a quality issue or if that's just like a Lily issue, because I mean, if you look at like this emblem here, let me just clean it off. You can see that there are no scratches on the emblem. So like in true fashion from Saint Laurent, like you can tell that the bag is really good quality. I mean, there are no scratches on the leather. It's really just that little bit of paint that's coming off. But again, having worn the bag so much, I really don't know how that couldn't happen, but it is something that I would like to get fixed. So I love this bag. She's beautiful. Right. Now, here we have one of my favorite like nude bags, one of like my kind of goes with everything type of bag. And this is the Prada, I used to call it the Sidonie bag, but it might be pronounced Sidonie. I should have looked that up before I filmed this video, but I think it's Sidonie. I think that's what makes sense. So this is my Prada Sidonie bag. And this was actually a purchase from a Muse. So I did get this one at a really good price. I want to say maybe cost like $650 from a Muse, and I think this bag was about $1,000 at the time. The funny thing was that I actually ordered this bag in like a dusty blue color, very similar to my Valentino rockstud, but they ended up sending me this one instead. And it was funny because I was like, I feel like the universe gives you what you need, because I already had a bunch of blue bags. And so I feel like the universe was like, hey dummy, you need a neutral, take a neutral. And so it was funny because I contacted a Muse, they were willing to swap it out, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to wait for it. I really like this color, so I ended up keeping it. But I think it's interesting because it's got like a bit of mixed media here. It's got a mix between like a smooth calfskin and the Saffiano here. So I think that gives it like some nice visual interest. Also the shape is a little bit different, right, than your typical like shoulder bag here. I will say one thing about this bag is that because it's Saffiano, I just feel like it hasn't worn great over time. So you can see that there are a couple marks on the bag. I think there's one here and one here, but specifically on the back, when it gets color transfer, it's really hard for me to clean that out. And I think maybe it's because of the texture of the Saffiano, like the dyes or the stains that happen probably like get deep into the groove, so it becomes harder to come out. So I don't love that aspect of it, but I do really like the look of it. I like that this bag feels different. And I also like that this bag can either be like a shoulder bag, a crossbody bag, or you can make it a clutch by removing the straps. I think that's really cool. And I also like this like little like tongue right here. I don't know, it's just different than a lot of my other bags. I don't have many other bags that have that. So I really like it. It's got, you know, 2 little baby card holder slots in there. So a tiny bit of organization, not a ton. But I do think this is a great bag, and you know, it's a neutral, so it goes with just about everything. Now here we have this little, like, I don't even know the name or the style of this bag, but this is obviously a Burberry bag in like their signature check print with like this really fun like double buckle and like with this orange, you know, detailing here. I love this bag, and it has such a special place in my heart because this was, I can't remember if it was like a birthday or graduation gift from my dad, because I got 2 gifts from him around the same period of time. But this was one of those 2 from when I finished grad school. And it was really sweet. It was really meaningful. I don't know. It just was really nice of him to do that for me, I think. So I was really grateful for that. And as you can see, I've worn this bag into the ground. Like, she is in rough shape. Because her and the Louis Vuitton bags were like the only 2 nice bags that I had for the longest time, right? Until I got to a point where I could start buying my own designer bags. So you can see like there's a lot of staining here. Like the hardware is really worn. I still love this bag. And I also feel like Burberry check print, it is a classic. Like it never goes in and out of style. Although sometimes, right, like logos in general are like a little bit more accepted or a little bit less accepted. Like it kind of ebbs and flows. But other than that, I feel like this is just a bag that I'm going to keep, you know, forever. I love it. I love that it's from my dad. As you can see, I've got like a couple bags from my dad. And they mean a lot to me, right? Like my dad is very close to me. So very sweet of him to gift me this bag. Now, here we have my one and only wallet on chain from Chanel. And this one is in the boy style version. Now listen, I know a lot of people say that like the boy bag is like a little bit less fashionable compared to Chanel's other bags right now, but I do not care. I love this bag. Now this wallet on chain is in their caviar leather and it has the silver hardware. And I just love this like beautiful, bright Kelly green color. I think it's stunning. Again, the theme of green like knows no bounds here. And I just love this bag because I feel like it's super functional. Again, it's got lots of organizational pockets on the inside. I have done a full review on this bag, so I won't really get into too much detail about it. But the one thing I don't love is that the strap is a little bit long, so I do use a chain shortener. I think you can see it here. And I will link a really great pack of chain shorteners that I use below. They're very cheap. They are from Amazon. You can get a pack for somewhere around $10. I think you get like a pack of 5. So I definitely think they are worth the investment because as you've seen, I've used them on a couple of my bags. But I love this bag. I think it is a great size. It's a good little like easy like running around town bag. So I love it. Very happy to have it. This was actually the first Chanel bag that I bought from a boutique. So I remember I got the dark green one first and then this was the next one that I bought. And I bought this from the Chanel at Neiman Marcus here in SF. So I was really happy to get this bag. I love the color. It makes me smile to this very day. So that's that one. Here we have my Saint Laurent shopping tote. Now this is in the East-West style, which means, you know, it's a little bit shorter, it's a little bit wider and fatter. The North-South versions are when they're a bit like taller and skinnier. And I really do like East-West versions, but I have been wanting to try a North-South. So I actually wouldn't be opposed to kind of like buying this bag in like a North-South version because I do think they're great bags. But this is an amazing bag that I have had, I want to say since like 2017, I think. And I love this bag. This was a great work bag for me for a while. Now, it depends on what you like in a work bag. If you like a lot of organization, like that Prada Turnlock one in the hazelnut color is a good one. But if you like one that's more open, where you can kind of decide how the space is taken up, or if you want to get your own bag organizer that you really like how it's laid out, this is actually a really good option because this one is completely open on the inside. Let me take the stuffing out and I will show you. I mean, there's no lining. It's just like raw, like unfinished leather on the inside. So this is what it looks like. It feels like suede on the inside. But I do love this bag because I feel like it is such a good value for money. I believe it's like around $1,000 or maybe, actually no, Saint Laurent has done some price increases, so I'm sure that this is over $1,000 now. But it also comes with a little removable pouch. So I feel like this is also a really good alternative option to the Louis Vuitton Neverfull. And I've actually done a video with like all the different great alternatives about the Louis Vuitton Neverfull, which I will link for you down below. If you're considering the Neverfull, but like you want to think about some other options that you think could be a good one, this is a great one for the price point. I mean, even with the increased price that I'm sure it is now of being a little over $1,000, it is quite affordable in the grand scheme of like large luxury bags. It also has a nice magnetic closure here. And, oof, hit myself in the face. I like that this is an understated bag. So when I first got it, it did have like a little hot stamp here in gold foil saying like Saint Laurent Paris, very similar to like the hot stamp that you can see on the little pouch there. But it did rub off over time, but that's actually okay with me because I'm okay if my bags are unbranded. But if you really like branding, on one of the sides, it does come with this little like hang tag where if you kind of open it up, there is a Saint Laurent logo there. So you can actually remove this top and let this hang down if you want the branding to show. And there is no shame if you want the branding to show. Like, hey, if you're gonna spend a bunch of money on your bag and you want people to know, like, I fully support that, sis. So like, you can wear this bag in different ways. It's super spacious, but I like that it's a very like contemporary, streamlined, like not over designed bag. I think that's kind of what makes it so beautiful. So I like the simplistic nature of it. I like that it fits a lot. And I think like overall, for as much as I've worn this as a work bag, because remember how I told you with the Prada turn lock, when I started walking to work, like that wasn't a very practical bag for me. This was the one that I ended up getting, because when I started walking to work, this you can just throw over your shoulder and you're good to go. So I think this is a really good like workhorse of a bag, like really good, even if you're not going to work, but like if you just need a bigger bag for running errands, or if you're gonna go like spend the night at someone's house and you just wanna throw a couple things in, like I think this is a great one. So I definitely recommend this one. Now here we have a bag that a lot of you all recently saw on my bags that I'm considering selling video. And I will tell you, I decided not to sell this bag after making that video. I just decided like I love it too much. It is this beautiful little Prada top handle bag with this great chain shoulder strap. And I feel like this bag has so many elements that I love that like I just can't get rid of it. But with that said, I do need to be more intentional about wearing it more often. So like that is something that I'm holding myself accountable for. I love this bag. I love the color. Again, it's like in this like dusty, pinky, blushy, beige, nude family that clearly I love so much. I love that it's got gold hardware. I love the turn lock that it has. I love that there is a top handle. I love that there is a chain strap. I love that there's also a full shoulder strap here that is adjustable. And also I love that the top of it is leather. For those of you that have watched any of my review videos, you know that I love when a bag has leather just at the top, because then it doesn't like dig into your arm as much as if it were a chain all the way around. So this bag just has like, I just listed off like so many different elements that I love about this bag. So I just feel like I can't get rid of it. So I really love it. I am keeping it. So sorry, you're not gonna see this one up on the Real or Fashion File anytime soon. So yeah, it's got two little pockets on the inside and some stuffing there. But love this little Prada baby and very happy to have her in my collection. Now, next we have a bag that I added to my collection last year, and you all actually helped me unbox it. And that is my little Louis Vuitton Pochette Accessoire in the older version. So this is not the version that's currently selling on the Louis Vuitton website or in stores. That one has a bit of a longer strap. Basically, it's got some other key differences, which I talk about in the unboxing video, which I will link for you. But I decided to get the older version because I was able to get it at a great price point. And for me, this is a good size bag because I really wanted like that true little like shoulder bag moment, like the one where it sits just up underneath your arm, very like Y2K. And so this I felt like was the right strap size for me. And I'm very happy to have this bag. I tried to get this bag forever. I talk about it in the video, so you can go and like hear all about like, I thought I was on a wait list, I wasn't, blah, 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 blah. But very happy that I was able to get this. I think I paid like $600 something for it. So I feel like I got it for a really good price. I love, love, love the monogram coated canvas. Just so you all know, like I only have 2 Louis Vuitton pieces in my collection and they're both in the monogram canvas. I will say there are some other Louis Vuitton bags that I really like, but I am not willing to pay like over $4,000 because some of the ones I want are like over $4,000 for those bags. So I think unless I find them on the pre-loved market at a little bit of a cheaper price, probably not gonna end up getting them. So I think for now, these are probably the only Louis Vuitton bags that you will see in my collection for a while, even though there are other Louis that I really want to add at some point to my collection. Here is another bag that you all recently saw on my bags that I'm considering selling video. And I do think that I'm gonna sell this one. I have just been so busy that I have not actually had time to list it, but I think that with, all the other bags I have here, I feel like this one, I've got its needs covered between like the Chanel small classic flap, my little Valentino bag. I'm really just not wearing this one anymore. But this is my Givenchy, I believe it's called the Donna quilted bag. And honestly, this is a really smart little bag. The bag is actually really interesting because it's got this fun little chain that like hangs in the front here. So I was originally drawn to this bag because I felt like it was different. It was something interesting. It had some visual interest here. There aren't many bags that kind of have this little like partway across chain, so I thought that was really cool. I also really liked it because I felt like this was a more affordable version of something that kind of filled like a Chanel classic flap need, because I got this one years ago. And I really liked it. And at that point in time, I was definitely not in a position where I should be buying, you know, Chanel classic flaps. So this definitely served my need. I know a lot of people say, like, if there's a bag that you want, don't buy a substitute. And I do agree with that to some extent, but I also think you need to be realistic about what you can and can't afford and about why you haven't bought the other version of something that is that you want. A lot of times it has to do with price. And I knew that, like, at that point in time, bags that were like over $3,000 were not in my price range. So getting this one, I believe it was like around $1,000, made a lot of sense for me. And I've had a lot of good use out of this bag. So I really like it, but now I think I've got enough similar bags that maybe it doesn't have as much of a purpose in my collection because I'm not really wearing it. But back to what I was saying. I really like that it's got like this long shoulder strap here, and I also like that it is a belt bag. So you could actually thread a belt through here and just wear this as a cute little belt bag. So I feel like this is a really functional bag. I feel like it's got a lot of utility to it, and I do feel like it is a good size. Like in terms of a small little shoulder bag, like you can actually fit a fair amount in here. So overall, I think it's a smart bag. I just don't think it's a bag that I'm really wearing that much, so I should probably let it go. Next up is this very ladylike, very feminine little Ferragamo shoulder bag. This is definitely an evening bag. This is something I've shown it to you on my channel before, but I feel like it's something that is really only reserved for like weddings, the opera, ballet, and I wish I went to the opera and ballet more, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't. And so this bag does not get a ton of utility out of it, but this was a Christmas gift one year from my dad. And so again, I've told you all, I am someone that I support holding onto things for sentimental reasons. And because this is from my dad, I will never, ever get rid of it, even though I don't get a lot of good use out of it. I also think that it is really good that I have a bag like this for those really dressed up occasions, for those really formal moments. Because my bag collection, I mean, I don't have like a ton of like super like fancy, like dressy, like special occasion bags. So I'm glad that I have this one, but I will admit I don't wear it a ton. I also really like this bag because I think it's got like a really fun closure, like the little bow here, you lift it up and it's like a magnet and it opens out that way. So it almost feels like a really dressed up version of like your grandma's like coin purse kind of thing. So I really like it here. So it's beautiful. Also, I like that the chain is removable. You can take it off. And if I wanted to, I could put a much longer chain on it if for some reason I needed to have like a longer chain with it. And I like to have that flexibility. I think that's really nice to have in a bag. So that's that one. Now here we have one of the GOATs, the greatest of all time bags. And that is the Chanel Classic Flap in the small size in caviar leather and silver hardware. I was really happy to get this bag in silver hardware because I think you all saw I've got the Fendi Can You with like that chunky gold chain. And so I was like, I feel like if I got this one in black and gold, it would be the exact same bag. So I'm really glad that I got it in the silver. With that said, I would not be opposed to getting like a medium black or a mini black with gold hardware because I love this bag so much. My one gripe with it is that, well, it's actually not a gripe. So this bag is from 2005. This is a very old bag. But the reason that I got it is because, well, A, I wanted it and it was in great condition, but B, this is a very special classic flap. If you've not seen the unboxing, I'll link it for you below. But this one has a totally black interior. Now, most Chanel classic flaps tend to have that like burgundy maroon interior because it's the color of like Chanel's like orphanage uniforms that she wore when she was an orphan. And I love a good story. I work in marketing, but I just don't love the color maroon on me. I mean, I appreciate it as a color, and I've got like a handful of pieces of clothing in that color. I also have a contemporary bag in that color, but I just don't love the look of like, I just don't love that maroon. And I know it's quintessential Chanel, but I'm just not into it. And so I knew that in the early 2000s, they did run some lines of bags of classic flaps where they were all black on the inside. I never thought I'd be able to get one. I found one on Fashion File and I was so happy. So I love this bag. It is amazing. I love that it's so special, that it's so different, and that it's all black. But with all that said, with it being an older bag, sometimes things happen to older bags. And unfortunately, one thing that happened to this bag, let me see if I can show you, is that the strap unfortunately came apart. It came unsewn right here. I don't know why I haven't sent this to get repaired yet. It's on my to-do list like every weekend, but instead I film YouTube videos for you all, so I don't have a lot of free time, to be totally honest. But I need to go ahead and send this off to get fixed so that way I can wear this bag again, because this was a bag I was seriously wearing on repeat, and because it's caviar leather, it's durable, doesn't scratch, none of that. The only real signs of wear that happen on this bag happen on all my Chanel bags, other than that the beige one, which has a lot of signs of wear, is that the turn lock is a little bit scratched. And I just kind of laughed to myself because I'm like, this bag has more age on it and like the 6 months that I've had it relative to the like over 15 years that this bag was alive before it came into my possession. So that just goes to show I'm a little rough on the merchandise. Now, this is my one and only Miu Miu bag, and it is this very plain, you know, very regular, very innocuous shoulder bag that you can also wear at crossbody. You can see that it has a ton of color transfer. So this is my other bag that I am good with it getting messed up. Like the yellow Prada one. Like this was like my tribute, my sacrifice. You know, when I got it, it looked great. And then I started wearing it a lot. This was back in the time when I was traveling a lot for work. And it just started getting a little bit beat up. And I was like, that's okay. Like, I think that this bag still looks good. I mean, it doesn't look great, right? But I think it still looks good. And this bag has served me so well. So whenever I'm traveling, if I just need like an everyday bag, like I don't want like a fancy bag, because a lot of times when I travel, I don't want to draw so much attention to myself. So like then in those scenarios, I don't want to bring my like Chanel bags or whatever, because I don't want to get like pickpocketed or have like be a target, right? I don't want to stand out. I do like to go on fancy vacations and not fancy vacations, like get you a girl that can do both, right? So on the not so fancy vacations, this is a great bag. And this is also just like a great running errands bag. The one thing that's kind of annoying about this bag, and it's actually something that I've heard happens a lot with the Louis Vuitton, what's it called? The Pochette Métis. It happens with the Pochette Métis also, and it's that sometimes this, you can't lock it right away. Like sometimes you push it in and it doesn't click all the way. And so I think because this is similar in shape to the Pochette Métis, it's actually not a problem with the Pochette Métis. It's actually a problem with this design or this shape of bag, because when you're going to press something in right here, if there's no resistance back on the way that the bag was built, it makes sense that the lock's not able to catch. So for those of you that are like, oh, my Pochette Métis is like so annoying, it's like a design flaw, it's not like a quality issue, it's just like an issue in terms of like, that's gonna happen with a bag this shape. So I do love this bag, but she is a bit beat up, but we still love her. She's done a lot of good work for us. So that is my little Miu Miu bag. Finally, we have come to the very last bag in my collection. And I left this one for last because I have decided to sell this one. You all helped me decide during that video, but I did decide to hang on to it for a little while longer because I've heard that this color is going to be huge for spring 2022. So I'll probably keep it like through the summer and then sell it. Who knows? I might go ahead and like list it soon, and if I'm able to get a good price for it, I'll just go ahead and sell it. But I figured I might as well keep it in case I'm so like moved to wear it because it's trendy. But this is this little Prada wallet on chain. It's a beautiful bag. It's a beautiful color. It's a great little size for going out, and I love that it is a textured leather. It's not exactly Saffiano, but it's textured in a similar fashion to Saffiano, but instead of being like crisscross, it's more like striped. It almost looks like wood grain, basically. I love this bag, but I don't really wear it because I think that the combination of the gold chain and the pink leather feels too much for me. It feels just a little bit too in your face, right? Like, look at the tone of that gold. I think a lot of people would love this tone of gold, but for me, it just feels like a bit too much together. So I am gonna be letting this one go, unfortunately. And also, I wanted to let you all know that I did end up selling the Prada tote bag to one of you all who actually lives in the Bay Area. I was so happy that it got to go, I mean, first off to any of you all, but to someone local. She got it, I think the package actually arrived just before Christmas, so I hope it was like a fun little Christmas present for you, and I hope that you're loving it as much as you said. It made me so happy. She like emailed me telling me it was perfect, and I was so happy to hear that, because it's always nice when you can like sell something on and give it another life. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you are still here, thank you for sticking through to the end of this video. You are a real one. I appreciate you. I hope that you enjoyed watching my luxury designer handbag collection. I would love to hear your thoughts. Like, what are your favorite bags? Which ones did you love? And are there ones that you think are absolutely hideous? Like, I can take it. You can tell me. I mean, just like tell me in a nice way. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you again for watching. My name is Lily. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you could just give this video a little like. Just give it a little thumbs up down in the corner below. And if you haven't already, what are you doing? You need to subscribe to my channel so that way you can get all my latest content about all things shopping delivered straight to you. Thanks again for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye everyone.